Yes people, what is going on? Hope you're all good. Today's video is about this guy, the special one. Tottenham's All or Nothing has come out and we are reacting to the first 3 parts of it, and of course there is one absolute star. I am a big fan of Jose Mourinho, so I've been really interested to see how this goes, but of course I want to have a little laugh at Tottenham as well, of course, as obviously a proper Chelsea fan would. This is just going to be me going through it and saying what I feel, saying what I've noticed so far, some little key moments. I did something similar for Sunderland Till I Die, obviously as a Chelsea fan it doesn't really impact me that much, but you kind of were able to laugh at them at certain points. Where this, I was expecting to have loads of barrels of laugh at Tottenham's expense, of course, for how poorly their season started, and they just didn't really cover it. So I'm going to tear the arse out of it where I can, of course, as you have to, but it's actually quite good, annoyingly. Let's get straight into this review. If you haven't seen it already, I mean, what are you doing with your life? Let's be completely real with ourselves. Get on it. Go and watch it. It's been out for 2 days. That's why I wait a little bit of time so people can watch it. It's been out for 2 days. Hurry up. A start of the season for Tottenham that was very different to the end of the previous season for Tottenham. Of course, they were Champions League finalists, obviously lost in a heartbeat because they gave away a penalty in 25 seconds. But the way they came back against Ajax, the way they obviously went through against Man City, it was a good end to the season. And you're expecting to see Tottenham kind of kick on from there. And they didn't. And of course, they sacked Pochettino early doors. But before they sacked Pochettino, they went out of the League Cup. They won, I think, 2 games in their first 8. And they just didn't really show that. They showed like a handful of moments of Pochettino. 20 minutes into the first episode, Mourinho comes in and takes over. You're kind of thinking there was a lot that they could have covered and missed. That was my first negative. Let's just all remember that Tottenham got knocked out against Colchester United in the Carabao Cup. Let's just remember that. The first person we're going to talk about is Daniel Levy, who I have to say, I was actually quite impressed by, I'm not going to lie. I know that a lot of people think he's a villain, and to be fair, he does bloody look like one. I mean, look at this. I mean, he looks like Gru. He looks like a normal human version of Gru. But he's a lot more normal than I expected him to be. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not going to say he's like a real football fanatic and he knows his football and he's like revolutionary or anything like that. But he is just like a normal bloke. And he did kind of say, to be fair, obviously as an NFL fan, I was really interested to see what the relationship was like between Tottenham and the NFL. And he just basically said that he wooed them for 3 years. He put 3 years worth of effort in because he couldn't just go, oh, come and look at my new stadium. Like, he realised where they are, which I kind of rate, and I do actually respect that. So I'm looking at it thinking, actually, he is a bit more normal than I thought. And he said about, oh, I've run businesses and whatever before. Obviously, we know his background, his history. But he said the football business is by far the most difficult he's ever come across. And I looked at it and went, I respect that, I rate it. Obviously as a Chelsea fan we go, oh, we've got the Russian billionaire and then we can do this, we can do that, and it's all fine, blah, blah, blah. But actually he is kind of more involved on a day-to-day basis than even I thought he would be, I'm not gonna lie. We came across him quite a lot in the first episode, but throughout the whole thing I do actually respect the amount that he is actually at the club and he's doing what he is doing. I do rate that actually, I must be honest. It was the right decision to let Pochettino go. You could just see the energy was just not there. Especially if you watch later on in the episodes as well, and you see how Mourinho comes in and just like that the whole thing changes. It just wasn't there. That push wasn't there. They said later on a lot of the squad have been there for like 5 years. It's just the same kind of thing over and over and over again. You know, it doesn't really bode well, if you know what I mean. Jose obviously comes in, changes the game in a heartbeat. He is just perfect from the second he walks in that door. I think it's been known for a while that they wanted him at Tottenham. But the way he comes in, he just demands the room. Everything about him was just spot on. And of course, it comes up with the funniest moment of the whole series so far, which is when he basically tells the telly to fuck off. It's absolutely amazing. Please go and watch it. If you haven't seen it, I mean, where have you been? You've been living under a rock. It's just fantastic. It's awesome. Another thing I noticed as well, Alderweireld and Vertonghen have really weird, like, semi-London accents. They're not London accents at all, but every now and again you've got the odd twang of, like, a London word, and you go, like, these 2 Belgian guys who grew up in Holland are speaking like, not Cockney, but not a million miles away from it. It's just quite funny, something I noticed. You'd not expect it from those 2. I noticed that when they were talking about Jose, and when he first came in, did you see the English lads, Ryan Sessegnon, Dele Alli, and main one, Harry Winks, shit himself. They absolutely shit themselves. Oh, what's training going to be like? Oh, what's training going to be? Oh, it's going to be really tactical. It's football. It ain't going to change. You might change slightly, but you're acting as if the whole world's going to change, mate. It's not. It's Mourinho. He's going to change some stuff up, fine, but you're still playing football. You're not having to change field of subject already. You're not going into neuroscience. It's still football. You'll still be able to understand it. And then Mourinho comes out with possibly what is my favourite quote of the whole thing. I won't get it spot on correct. It's, I don't belong to the sofa. I don't belong in the box. I don't belong on the TV or whatever it is. I belong to the game. And I looked at it and thought, Wow, that's a really infectious, powerful quote. He belongs to the game of football, and he doesn't like doing the stuff for Sky Sports. He doesn't like sitting in the box. He belongs to the game of football. He wants to be there, experiencing it. And then 20 minutes later, fucking Football Manager comes up in the bottom corner of his laptop. What are you doing, Jose? What are you doing? You're playing Football Manager. You're trying to get all your tactics from there. Fucking hell. And then we have another fucking classic Jose moment. He drops a C-bomb. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And that's only what they showed on the film. They're blanking it out. There was a lot of swearing in this, and they're blanking out the C-bomb. You know that's when it gets bad. When Jose drops a C-bomb, you know shit's gone wrong. I absolutely adore Jose. He's absolutely quality. And what I also loved about him is he's a proper football guy. We get that. Obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan. I fall in love with him over many, many years. But he's a proper football guy. And I know I've taken the piss out of him playing fucking Football Manager. But you can just see the way he wants to go. And one thing I did love about him is the fact of how much he talked about Chelsea. Obviously, a little bit later on, they come on to just before Christmas in the game against Chelsea. But straight away, early doors, 12 points to Chelsea. 12 points to Chelsea. 12 points to Chelsea. Chelsea lost. Chelsea done it. And it's just like, it's Chelsea, 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 Chelsea. That was the one. I want to win one up on everyone. I want to win over everyone. I want to be ahead of that person. And of course, obviously, we were the prime target sitting in 4th. But you still look at it going, I want to beat that team. I want to beat them. I want to beat them. And I just love that winning mentality. Obviously, of course, it's at Chelsea's expense. But I'm just looking at it going, I love that winning mentality to just go and go and go. This is where I want to be. I hate this team and I want to be above them. It's fantastic. Honestly, it's fantastic. It's fascinating. We'll come into episode 2 now. Jose takes a load of selfies with staff all around the Lily White Centre. That's quite cool. I'll rate that. Fair enough. I'll give you a little round of applause for that, Jose. I won't actually do it because you won't see this. But my main thing I took away from this episode is Serge Aurier. Oh, I just like this geezer. Honestly, I just like this geezer. He's proper old school. They were pretty much out of 3 competitions by the end of September, and obviously that's the reason they didn't show a lot of the Mauricio Pochettino stuff, but they want to make themselves look good. And of course, this Serge Aurier stuff, a lot of it is for publicity, but you can still appreciate that he's a guy that's come from nothing. He wants to come and play hard, play good football, and he wants to go and give back to those who he can help with. And I look at it and I went, that's fair enough. I respect that. I like the guy. I know obviously maybe his football is, criticised at points and whatever, but just as a person, I do rate that. I respect that a lot. Probably he's been paid to go there by the club, but he doesn't have to kind of engage and talk about it as much as he does. And I rate that, to be fair to him. But then moving on to another thing that happened in this episode, Eric Dyer and Jose Mourinho have a conversation. Now, I know that Eric Dyer grew up in Portugal and played a lot of football over there. Why the fuck are they speaking Portuguese? Eric Dyer clearly speaks decent Portuguese, and obviously Jose Mourinho is fluent in it. But Jose Mourinho is fluent in English. He's been here for many, many years, compared to Eric Dyer, who'd been there for a little while. And I'm just looking at it going, why don't you just fucking speak in English? You got me trying to fucking read across the bloody bottom. I'm dyslexic, I'm trying to keep up. No point. I just looked at it and went, why? It's not as if you were trying to keep it secret from anyone. You were in the room by yourself, literally just having a conversation. No one's going to walk in. No one's going to you're not going to bad mouth anyone to their face. Do you know when you go into shops and you see a couple of people, or more particularly when you go on holiday, you see a couple of people working in the shop, and you will be talking to you in English, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden they'll change into Spanish because you know that they're talking about you. It was just like that. It was almost as if, oh yeah, we're bad mouthing people. But the conversation I had did not deserve to be in Portuguese at all. It was just an ordinary conversation saying, I want you to be better at football. That was pretty much what it was. Why didn't you get along with the previous manager? I want you to be a part of my team going forward. You're a good player. What? Why does that need to be in Portuguese? Baffles me. Baffles me. And then the big moment happens. Olympiacos, they're 2-0 down very, very quickly. And they come from 2-0 down and they win 4-2. And the ball boy throws the ball in and it starts the comeback. Olympiacos are shit. They are crap. It's not that big of a game. I get the ball boy thing's quite cool, and to be fair, they invited him to meet the team afterwards, which you didn't really see. But that was quite cool. And you looked at it and just thought, okay, classy. Jose did that. I respect it a lot. But the game's overhyped. You're playing Olympiacos. You're acting as if they're better than Barcelona. To be fair, a fair few teams are better than Barcelona at the moment. But still, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Olympiacos are still shit. You've beaten a shit team. Okay, nice one. The fact of the matter is, you still went 2-0 down to them. Just remember that, lads. Jesus Christ. And then an absolute gem happens right at the end of the episode. Jose Mourinho tells Dele Alli he's going to regret his career. To be fair, he played better after it, but fucking hell, imagine having that. This legend of football, just like that going, you're going to regret this. Play better. Fucking hell, what a statement that is. And Dele Alli's gone in there thinking, oh yeah, I'm alright. Dele Alli is a crap trainer, we've all seen that. I mean, it's very obvious to see. To be fair, I think I even knew that before I saw this documentary. But Jose's come straight in, thrown him straight in the mix of it and gone, you're shit at training, mate? Fucking pull your finger out your ass, and then does it in a meeting, and Dele's walked in and gone, oh, this will be alright, okay, I'm having a chat with the boss, okay, this is fine, this happens on a normal, and then he turns around and goes, you're going to regret your career. You're going to regret everything you've ever done in your football career. Fucking hell. And just imagine the feeling of being Dele Alli and have this legend of the game going, you're going to be shit. Fucking hell. Oh my God. And they hyped him up saying that Sir Alex Ferguson said, bye Dele Alli. Only bit of advice he ever gave him in 2.5 years. Bye Dele Alli. And then just like that, you're going to be shit. Fucking hell. Imagine that. You'd be shitting yourself. Just very quickly before we start episode 3 as well, there's a journalist that's in it the whole way through. I think he's from the Telegraph, I can't bloody remember now. Jason Burt. He's a very, very knowledgeable man. I was really interested to know what he had to say on every single occasion. I liked him a lot. In large part, he's probably going to go under the radar, but really, really fascinating bloke. Really interested to see anytime he came on the screen what he had to say. Also, another thing as well, this lady, underrated. She's fit. Just wanted to let people know that. We'll go into a full thing about Chelsea at the end. One thing I did notice was about Daniel Levy and the contract kind of saga with Ericsson and a handful of others as well. The Ericsson one is the one that really strikes me. There's been no contact between the club and the agent. What? How the hell are you ever going to get a contract done if there's no conversation? Surely you initiate that conversation. It just baffles me. Honestly, it just baffles me. You're looking at it going, okay, Ericsson is one of the best players we've had, and they just listed off all the things that he's achieved: 50 goals, so many assists, blah 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 blah. He's clearly a very, very good fucking footballer. And just like that, you're going, well, there's been no contact. There's been no contact. Make contact. Make it. Now they let him go for literally next to nothing. Honestly, it's baffling. How do you let a player like that just wind down and down and down and down and down? To be fair, at least the two defenders, they're both 30 or above, so you can kind of understand it a little bit more. But Jesus Christ, lads, really? Going back onto Jose, weird one now with Harry Kane. Obviously, they have their little conversations before the game. I just love how much Harry Kane and Jose talk. I'm not Harry Kane's biggest fan, I must be honest. I do have to be real. He's a classy player, but, you know, sometimes he gets in the way. But the way him and Jose, straight away, who wants to talk? You want to talk? I'll talk. You know, it's just small little things like that. You do it. It don't make a difference. They respect each other so much. You know, it's like, if you knew there was a message you want to get across to your squad, you can say it. But if you're not the person to say it on that particular day, you still know the other one's going to absolutely smash it. It's a really interesting bond between the two of them, to be fair. Oh, and then we come to this gem of a moment. The South Korean fans. Oh my good Lord. God, they're insane. They are absolutely insane. I get that Son is like their superstar, but really? Like the way they're flying halfway around the world to come and see him. I just don't get it. What really baffled me, and you know where this is going, is this poor bloke that stood outside Tottenham training ground. He wasn't even outside it, he was nearby on some random corner with a Son shirt, just waving and smiling at everyone. The first thing I thought when I saw that was, why? Son isn't going to stop on some random street corner and just like have a wave at you and then come and speak to you for a bit. So you're kind of thinking, oh, maybe he's after a signature. Maybe it's something like that. But then they showed a close-up of the shirt. It's already fucking signed. So why are you there? Why are you there? He's just going, oh, well, if people see me and they think of South Korea as a good country, they see Son and think he's smiling, and they see me and they think I'm smiling, so South Korea is obviously a lovely place. Have you met the calibre of people in North London? They don't give a shit, mate. They're just looking at going, what the fuck's this geezer doing here? He's got this weird, hanging thing, the shirt hanging up, and he's just waving at people. He looks like an absolute nutcase. I don't know what he was trying to achieve. Now we come on to the Chelsea game, a bit that probably most of you have been sticking around for, so I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging around. Hopefully this has been a good video for you guys. Obviously, Chelsea beat Tottenham literally 3 days before Christmas, and it's just emphatic as a Chelsea fan. It's absolutely unreal. 2 goals from Willian, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But before that even happens, he talks about Frank. Frank comes on the TV, and Ericsson asks, is he a good guy? And Jose just adores Frank. You can see that he just adores him. He said about a big hug before the game and a big hug after the game, which I rate, and I do respect that, and it did happen, to be fair, on both occasions, at Chelsea, and also, of course, this game at Tottenham. But he just speaks so much truth about Frank. He's a proper worker. He's a legend. He's a leader. He's the most focused guy I've ever come across. And I looked at it and I was just thinking, maybe it's obviously trying to hype up the team. But you are literally, he will be speaking there from a little bit of legitimacy. Even if it's only a bit, he will be spot on in certain areas going, nah, I'm not going to bullshit you. I would tell you if he's shit. There's a lot of individuals in this world that would try and make the better of an opponent by trying to talk them down. And, oh, these people are shit. These people are this. These people are that. Jose knows this is a good guy we're going up against. This is a real geezer we're going up against. And just like that, he puts everyone in that club, in that situation's mind in the right place. We've got to be fucking spot on to win this game. And they weren't, obviously, which is why we won. Just the way he spoke about Frank was just absolutely superb. But we'll go into the game now. And one thing that, it just absolutely baffles me. Dele Alli being so pissed off at half-time was very, very funny. Son getting sent off was very, very funny. He might be Mr. Nice Guy. He might be a hero in South Korea. But I don't care. He's a dirty bastard in football. It's not the first time he's been sent off. I don't get it. I don't get what the hype is. He's clearly a good player. And they all want to, like, basically kiss his ass. But he's still got a dirty side to him, whether he wants to accept it or not. And he said, I'm 27, I shouldn't be doing that. But the fact of the matter is, mate, you did. You did do it. The thing that made me laugh most about this game is, of course, obviously Chelsea 1-0 up, Willian, Bosch, but it's the second goal, the penalty. Literally, everyone knew in the stadium that that was a sending off and definitely a penalty. There was a genuine attempt to play the ball, which is why he wasn't sent off. I can't fucking see it, but there we are. But every single member of the crowd, all around, you'll see them at the back, they turn around and go, oh God. And the bench shits themselves. The bench is looking at it going, oh my fucking God. And you're all going, fucking, oh, Jesus Christ. They know it's a penalty. And the fucking referee, the only bastard who didn't give it as a penalty, everyone else in the ground gave it as a penalty, goes, no, play on. I think didn't he actually book Alonso for diving? Just shocking. Honestly, just shocking. And they give it, and they go, oh, it's a penalty, and they just didn't touch on it anymore. Sorry, can we talk about how shit Anthony Taylor is? Again, I'm just looking at it going like, Jesus Christ, really? Really? He was nowhere near the ball. Even Gazzaniga knows that he should have probably been sent off. But no, they didn't give it. And it went to VAR, and clearly it was given for the right reason, thank God. But literally 60,000 people in the stadium, the bloody bench, everyone literally there, knowing that's a fucking penalty. That's a penalty. And they didn't give it. Jesus Christ. You got to question some of the quality of the refereeing in this Premier League. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Sound like bloody Roy Keane now. But I have to be honest, this hasn't been the best All or Nothing I've ever seen. Of course, we've only had 3 episodes so far. If you do smash the likes in this video, then I will do more of them. I will react to them. But yeah, it's been a bit of an odd one so far. I wanted to see a little bit more. Bearing in mind there was a list that came out on social media a little while ago of like 20 things that go wrong for Tottenham all season. And you've only really had like 4 of them that have really been highlighted. Even the Bayern game, they got whacked. They showed all the goals, but didn't actually say anything else afterwards. You can hear Sam Chipek in the back going nuts, and you get his little audio file. But that's about it. You're just thinking that was a ginormous moment that they've just missed out on. They should really cover it, but there we are. I mean, maybe that's just Tottenham being Tottenham. But I have to say, I have actually enjoyed this so far, and I am looking forward to the new episodes coming out weekly. Of course, you've got another game against Chelsea, which I think probably will not be in the next episode, but will be in the one after that, I guess. It's just a bit of a weird one for me. It's a good season so far, but I just hope they cover a little bit more of it. Obviously, the Norwich going out in the FA Cup's going to be awesome, because they finish episode 3 saying the FA Cup is so important. We need to go and do as well in this competition. And of course, they crash out. I can't wait for that. Honestly, I can't wait for it. Anyway, that's going to be it from me. Please do make sure, if you're new around here, that you like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, there's a lot of content coming up over the next few days. But for now, I'll see you later. And remember, love the special one. He's an absolute fucking gem. He's an absolute gem.